Blackburn Rovers looking to get their first points on the board over at Ewood Park, but standing in the way is the big boys. That's right, it's Ipswich Town. Will Rovers get anything this coming Saturday? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at, of course, Blackburn Rovers taking on Ipswich Town over in the Championship. This is, of course, the match preview. Goodness gracious me. But will Rovers get off the box with the first points on the board at Ewood Park? It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a tough one. We're going to take a look at it in just 1 second. Big shout out to members and the patrons. And if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe. You want some shop for Blackburn Rovers Championship and World Football. So let's get into it then, shall we? Take a little look at what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this, guys. It is, of course, Rovers taking on Ipswich Town. And it's coming at you at Ewood Park. That's right. We're going to be live out here on the channel for the watch along. And yeah, it's going to be a tricky old game taking on a team that was relegated last season from the Premier League. And yes, they've not started great, have Ipswich Town, but the most recent performance was a stellar performance against Sheffield United to put some goals on the board there and, of course, put some points in the bag. And I think I'm picking up their first win themselves. So let's take a look at Rovers, if you don't know, just in case. But this is mainly for those Ipswich Town fans that are stumbling here for the first time. Of course, coached by Valérien Ismaël, who is 49 years of age, picking up a 1.67 points per match ratio as of right now. His record against Ipswich is very minimal. He managed against them one time, and it was a loss as well as a loss against Kieran McKenna, probably in the same role, same environment. Meanwhile, most valuable player for Blackburn Rovers is Todd Cantwell, ex-Norwich City man, maybe a bit of a score to settle with the old East Anglian rivals from his early days. He is, of course, 27 years of age and the Capitano at the moment. So that's a look at the key men in the dugout, perhaps, and of course on the pitch. But let's take a look at the numbers then, shall we? And this is it. Rovers picking up a 6.80 average so far this campaign, ranking them 14th in the division for performances on the pitch. We played 5 matches. We've scored 5 goals. We've conceded 5. We've got 3 assists to our name. That equates to just 1 goal a game. We're picking up a 48.4% possession rate at the moment. 2 clean sheets to our name as well. We do have a red card, and our duels in the air, 49.3 duels on the ground, 51% success rate for that. We're taking a look then at the goals, or how they've come about. Well, I'll take a look at them right here, right now. 3 of them have been through open play, 2 set pieces. The goals conceded, 2 through penalties, 1 open play, 1 set piece, and 1 counter attack. So, what else do I got for you about the Rovers blueprint here? Well, let's take a look at the statistics then. When in possession, Rovers prefer the left to the right-hand side. Of course, Morishita now, I don't know if he's just like, brought in to be a wide man, and he has played on the left, but he's also featured on the right as well. So he can add to those statistics there. And when we are in possession, it's still more on the front foot than in the opposition half here, or sorry, in the defensive third. So 31% in the opposition third, 28% in the defensive third. When we have taken a shot, 67% of it, more often than not, down the middle. 20% in that 6-yard area. Shots received, though, by our opposition, 22% coming down the left-hand side and 43% long range bad boys. So those are some of the key numbers. But what about the key players and the key individuals? Well, as I mentioned, Cantwell is our captain, most valuable player, and he's been the best player on the pitch for the blue and white half. So that's right, with 7.53 average. Ryan Hedges with a 7.2 and Tronstad 7.4. That does make some sense. They are experienced pros right now, but we are seeing some new faces, including Ryan Ablosu, who looks pretty dang good on that right-hand side. Blasses tough as well. And as well, the new boy, Arroyo Morishita, as well. Goals coming from Todd Cantwell. He's got 2 so far. Hedges, Ohashi, and Morishita so far, chipping in with a goal as well. As for the assists, Hedges, Ohashi, and Kangbo have got 1 to their name. Let's revisit the transfer window then, including Blackburn Rovers incomings. We did say hello to Dion Denevre. Sidney Tavares also joined for a considerable fee of £2.4 million. Ablosu also joined for a minimal undisclosed fee. Sean McLaughlin the same. Lewis Miller joined from Hibs as well. Axel Henriksen joining from Sweden there. Moras Baraji injured, but he's been brought on loan. Hoping we're going to see him soon. Morishita, I think he could be a game changer for us, and it's an exciting prospect if we can get him fit and on the pitch. Morishita we saw, and he's already got himself a goal. Andrew Good-Johnson also featuring from the bench as well against Watford, and he does look lively. And Taylor Gardner-Hickman got a cameo not much to look about that for the time being. As for players out, we did say goodbye to a lot of players, a lot of English and British players, and a lot of experience. We said goodbye to Danny Bath, Andreas Wyman, Zach Gilson joined cup upsetters, Grimsby, Joe Reckon Costello made a switch to London, to Charlton. Tyree Stone seems to be doing okay over in Spain with La Liga and Espanyol. Callum Britt making the switch to Middlesbrough. Leo Duru jumped over the pond to San Diego. John Buckley scoring a couple of goals already for Al Khaloud over in Saudi Arabia. Lewis Travis making the move to Derby. Harry Leonard switching to Peterborough. Jack Barrett on loan to Tranmere. And Dominic Heim on deadline day to Wrexham. So some major losses for Rovers. But let's take a look at the squad then, shall we? Starting with the goalkeepers. Ainsley Pears is still there. Seen him in training. I don't think we've seen the end of him, but he's, of course, now number 2 behind Blassus Toff. As for the defensive ranks, we've got the likes of Ribeiro, likely to start. Rick Pickering, of course, had a cameo this past week. Scotty Wharton looks like a man reborn. Meanwhile, moving forward into the midfield slots, we have a whole host of numbers, whole host of positions, including Chauncey Tronstad in there, for sure. Not been available thus far, been injured. Christian Montgomery, again, one of the youngsters trying to make a pathway all the way through to the first team. And again, Dion Deneville of Ryan Blosu coming in from Belgium to improve our depth. Moving forward to the attacking lines here, Ohashi, Good Johnson, Mactor Gay still here. Could have left on transfer day to a couple of clubs, but still with us. Cargo and Tijon as well. So those are a look at Rovers players, but this is the most expensive lineup. Now, I'm not saying this is the best lineup or the lineup that we're going to go with, but it is the most expensive by value. We've got pairs between the sticks: Pickering, Wharton, Carter, Gardner, Hickman, Baraji, Tronstad, Cantwell, Ohashi, Morishita, and Mactar Gay. Good lineup, but it's, of course, a lot of complications with that lineup. It's not something that we would adopt, and specifically with injuries to bear in mind. But we're more likely to see something like this, which was the starting 11 from last match. Tough between the sticks: Ribeiro, Wharton, Carter, and Ablosu. Alabiosu, Tavares, Tronstad, Hedges, Cantwell, Morishita, and Ohashi. I think Hedges has been one of the players of the season so far. Definitely most improved. And his desire to go forward and drive the ball forward is paramount to any success that we can mount. So that's the line we're likely to see. Maybe a couple of changes. I think Good Johnson could warrant a start. Morishita definitely needs to start from the game. And maybe a switch out from Tavares in midfield. But we're probably likely to see the same crew in that one. How about the roster then for Rovers? Well, this is the game so far in the last 5. Again, coming into something like a win, but our home performances have been a bit shit. Losing to Birmingham, losing to Norwich, as well as losing to Bradford City in the Cup as well. Coming forward, though, out of this one, we're going to be taking on Charlton and Swansea out of the next couple of games here, I think, before the next international break. So, opportunity to maybe get some points. Both of those games will be tricky. Of course, it is the Championship, but we'll see just how well we can do. Then moving forward, take a look at the opposition. And Kieran McKenna is the main man there, 39 years of age. He's been at the club for a while. 2021, he was appointed. His contract expires in 2028. He's got a success rate of 1.74 points per match so far. He's managed against us twice, picking up 2 wins out of 2. He's managed against Bale once, and he's beaten him as well. Most valuable player on the books of Ipswich is Leif Davis, 22 million euros. That's according to Transfermarkt. Some people may agree, some people won't. Coming into this, these are the key individuals as well. Of course, star men. Jaden Philogene kicking in with a 7.55 performance rate so far. Leif Davis with a 7.20. Anzo Matasua also with a 7.12 thus far. The goals have been coming from Jaden Philogene as Jack Clark as well. The wide men contribute 5 goals between them. George Hurst, ex-Rover, of course, 2 goals for him, and Jacob Reeves as well. Assists coming from Furlong, Nunez, and George Hurst as well. But again, still early days, and do anticipate a lot of goals coming at them from Ipswich Town. Let's take a look then at the number. 6.83 on average is Ipswich. They're ranked 11th in regards to performance. They've also played 5 games, scored 9 goals, conceded 5, chipping in with 2 assists as well. Averaging 1.8 goals a game, picking up just the 1 assist. They have a ball possession rate of 57.4. They have an aerial duels rate of 62%. That's a quite high number. So very good in the air. Yet to get a red card. Maybe this weekend would be good for that. Maybe they can get that this weekend. How about that? Let's take a look then at how the goals have been scored. They have scored a whole bunch of them. 4 of them through open play, 2 penalties, 1 set piece, 1 counter attack, and 1 OG. As for goals conceded, 3 from open play, 2 penalties. So maybe a little bit sloppy at the back. Let's take a look at the statistics. Of course, how they play. They do prefer to come down the left-hand side, 39%. Meanwhile, when in possession, Again, front-footed side, 32% in the opposition third, 28% in their own third. When they like to take a shot, 20% coming down the left-hand side and 49% in the 18-yard box. As for shots received, 27% coming down that left-hand side as well. On the opposition, 60% in the 18-yard area. Moving forward then, shall we? Ipswich Town, the Tractor Boys have been a bit busy in the old transfer market as well. Let's take a little look at it. Of course, these are the key movers and shakers. The likes of, we've got Alex Palmer coming in from West Brom. David Brunton also joining them. A couple of goalkeeping free agents. Cedric Kipley coming in there from Reims out in Lyon. Meanwhile, Anzo Matasua coming from Rennes. Ashley Young, your veteran, making a move as a free agent. Jean-Louis Cajusti coming in from Napoli on loan. Chuba Akpom also joining from Ajax on loan. Casey McAteer, big high spender there, 16 million from Leicester. We've also got even Azone from Como, the striker. Daniel Furlong coming at you out of West Brom, with Marcelo Nunez making the switch from Norwich, and Signal Wala Ngeli making a high-profile move from Nordsjælland out in Denmark. Meanwhile, players going out. We said goodbye to Axel Tunzabi, who made the switch to them six-fingered banjo-playing weirdos Burnley. Sam Morsey also making a move to Q8. Musamman Longo to Millwall. Slicker and Irish goalkeepers going out on loan now from Broadhead, going to Wrexham. We've got Omari Hutchinson with a big high-profile move to Nottingham Forest. Tudareki Obeni going to Sheffield United. Elayame Hamadi going to Luton. Barberg also going to Lincoln. Connor Chaplin making the switch to Portsmouth, and Luke Wolfenden going to Coventry. So let's take a look at the squad then, shall we? For Ipswich Town, they've got the goalkeepers Christian Walton, Alex Palmer, David Button, all compete for the jersey, all over 6'3", big players at the back there. Meanwhile, into the defensive ranks, the likes of Donald Furlong, we've got Jacob Greaves there, Dara O'Shea, Ben Johnson, of course, still quite a young whippersnapper. Ashley Young, the veteran there. Meanwhile, into midfield, the likes of Jake Taylor coming in here in the midfield there. Casey McAteer, Sammy Smodish, of course, ex-Rover, goal-scoring machine on his day. And up top, the likes of George Hurst, Chuba Akpom, and even Azon, all competing for a starting berth. Meanwhile, let's move on forward then, shall we? Take a look at the most expensive 11 for Ipswich Town. It looks like this, with Palmer between the six: Davis, Greaves, O'Shea, Johnson, Cajuste, Matuese, Smodish, Philogene, Clark and Ageli up top. But you probably won't see that, but this is what you're more likely to see with Palmer, Davis, Greaves, O'Shea, Furlong, Cajuste, Matue, Philogene, Akpom, McAteer and George Hurst up top. So strong team, strong personnel, but how have they done so far? Well, they've had a bit of a staggered start so far, drawing with Birmingham, losing to Bromley in the Cup, drawing to Southampton. They did lose to Preston, they drew with Derby, and of course got their first victory against Sheffield United most recently. Coming out of this, they'll be taking on Portsmouth at Portman Road. Then it'll be a tricky one against Bristol City. Then it is the East Anglian Derby on October the 5th. Borough next, and then Charlton to complete the package. So that is that. Let's take a look at the numbers then of the game as we crunch them over there then, shall we? 22 times they have played since 1993. 8 wins for Rovers, 6 wins Ipswich. There's been 8 draws. Rovers are in 16th on the back of 2 wins in the last 3. Up against Ipswich. They're on 42% for them right now. Just 1 win in the last 6. We have a 4-1 win. That's Rovers on our record. We have 32 goals scored against Ipswich, picking up a 1.45 goals a game on average. As for Ipswich, they have a 2-0 win on the record. They scored 26 goals in those 22 games, 1.18 goals a game so far. What about, of course, the valuations of the squad? Well, it is chalk and cheese, really. Rovers' squad is a value just shy of 39 million euros, whereas Ipswich is up at near 180. Their average value of a player, 6.6 million euros compared to 1.5. Their squad is older than ours. They have more national team players, and we have more foreigners than they do as of right now as well. What about the records then? The history books. Let's take a look at it over the last 6 then, shall we? This is both home and away. Over the last 6, Ipswich have won 3 and Rovers have just the won once, and there's been 2 draws. In fact, Ipswich picking up the last win at Ewood was a 1-0 win back in March 2024. So last time Rovers did pick up a win at Ewood was back in January 2019. It was a 2-0 win. Danny Graham and Joe Nuttall on the score sheet. Goodness gracious me. But yes, take a look at the last 6 then at Ewood Park. And this is, of course, both home and away right here. But of course, at Ewood Park, it is much more favoured in the blue and white halves realm there, with that one loss, just the one loss of the last 6. If we can get anything out of this, I think it'll be a massive step in the right direction. However, let's take a look at the last 10 then, shall we? Of course, coming into this, Rovers are the green graphic. We're looking for it. So just 1 win in the last 2, 4, 7. So 1 win and 7 for Rovers against Ipswich, which is not great. And there has been some thrillers in here as well. A lot of high-scoring affairs here. But if Rovers can get something, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Meanwhile, over the history books, 49 times they've played, and Ipswich have the edge with 19 wins. Rovers have 15. There's been 15 draws. We have more goals than they do, but that's pretty much the highlight of the history books. Let's take a look then at the table as of right now. It is quite tight between us. We're both on 6 points in the win for either of us. We could be as high as 6th. So important to get ourselves some breathing space early doors. What about what we can expect from the game? Well, let's take a look at it, shall we? Meanwhile, what's going on elsewhere in the Championship? Let's take a little look at it. Here we go. The Championship is stacked, and it all kicks off tonight with Middlesbrough taking on West Bromwich Albion. Goodness gracious me, as 2 teams towards the top of the table lock horns. Meanwhile, QPR take on Stoke. QPR on a bit of a rebound themselves. Stoke still flying high. Birmingham against Swansea, that'll be tight. Leicester against Coventry, also dangerous. Derby, Preston, Hull, Southampton, Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United under Chris Wilder. They take on Charlton, Norwich City against Wrexham, Bristol City against Oxford, and Millwall take on Watford. I did put out an early poll there. Of course, it's been out there for a while now, and the numbers may have swayed or changed, but it does look like the public vote have gone in favour of Ipswich Town with 53%, Rovers with just 38%. So, what are your thoughts about that? Let me know down below. But what do I expect from the game itself? Well, it all comes down to this. It all comes down to me. And, of course, I think it was a massive win for Rovers last time around against Watford. It was on the road. Back-to-back games now, unbeaten on the road. Back-to-back clean sheets on the road. We do need a performance at home. It is not an early kickoff, so not a lot of pressure on us for being in front of the cameras or in the spotlight. And I do think Rovers can be good, can be decent, but they need something at home. And I'm going to stick my neck out once again on this one. I think Rovers will score a goal in this game, and I hope it will be enough. I hope it's a late goal, late winner, something like that, a little bit of drama, or at least a comfortable performance that can restrain that deadly attack from Ipswich Town. They've got goals everywhere across the pitch, and I think a lot of players are not even at a second gear right now. So we need to deliver something, and if we can get a sucker blow here at home, it'll change the whole vibe of everyone's expectation for Rovers. We've yet to get a win at home. We've got a solid couple of wins so far on the road, but everyone's still tipping us to struggle for the season. If we can get something here, we'll prove a lot of people wrong. So I'm going to stick my neck out once again, go in with a 1-0 win for Blackburn Rovers and take all 3 points, and of course give us a good platform moving on to the next game against Charlton Athletic. But let's of course focus on this one, and of course join me live for the watch along, and that of course will be around about 10-15 minutes from kickoff. So until then, subscribe, smash the like. I'll see you soon whenever we return. Until then, I am done.